He started a company. He's now a billionaire. Is very philanthropic and loves to invest in new technology.
Document versus create.
I'm Jake, and my life is a mix of being a father, a husband, with a myriad of other interests. One of which is trying to start two separate businesses at the same time. One is self-sustaining, and the other is your typical software startup. All this to break away from the 9-to-5 life. And in success and in failure, I want to bring you along in the hopes of you learning from my experiences in real time. So welcome to the pursuit of everything.
Hey, man.
Hey bud, how are you?
I'm good, dude. How you is?
I just wanted to see what your text was about. Again, this is...
No. He is a business manager out of Atlanta who has been a big supporter of Sydney and I. He essentially runs the finances of a ton of professional athletes and musicians.
Wow. Okay.
And he also has been a consultant for these huge companies in the past, like essentially just like a business whiz. So he's helped us with music, but we reached out and said, hey, would you take a look at this? And so that's what that was about. He is a major business player in Atlanta and Nashville.
So what did the email that Sydney sent say that kind of started this all off?
Well, she had been talking to him. He always sends us stuff about music, like songs and things like that. And essentially, she gave him a quick rundown of what we were doing. And he's like, yeah. He said, I know a lot of people that invest in stuff like this. Send me the business plan, and I'll take a look.
Gotcha.
And so that was what he had that in mind, knowing that he knows a lot of people that invest in things sort of like that. And so yeah, when he was like, I really like what I see, and he has a couple things he's following up with his own private law firm, which I was super grateful for,
Yeah.
But if we get the right answer on that, I feel like if he has other questions, we'll be able to move forward, and we'll probably have a couple conversations in the coming, weeks about it.
So really, he's not like the investor, but he would be the connecting kind of conduit to all this to get us to the right
maybe.
people.
I don't know, because I know he has millions and millions of dollars, and also, but he also knows a ton of people have millions and millions of dollars. So yes, that's I don't know exactly, but he would be definitely the conduit to get us in front of the right people. And he knows the right people too. So he said he was going to send me some notes he had from a consulting meeting on I guess he said nonprofit stuff. I don't know. But he also is waiting to hear back from his law firm about if we would be exempt from the IRS. If not, we'll have to brainstorm how to make money.
Right.
He still likes the idea. We might have to even word it differently, So we had a meeting with who is the guy who's been managing us a little bit for the last couple of years, and he's really good friends with the people that started the app. Have you seen that? And it's really blown up over the last couple of years. They're based here in Nashville.
Okay.
And the app is absolutely blown up. Their main investor is a guy, I think his name. He started a company called a few years back, and he's now a billionaire. Is very philanthropic and loves to invest in new technology. And so he knows this guy, and he's going to take a look at the business plan, try to get in the hands of who works with the guy who owns. So that would be a huge connection for us.
So he's going to pass it from one millionaire founder to another billionaire founder, essentially?
Essentially, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So we're 2 steps away from a billionaire that is very philanthropic and actively investing, because he said it'd be a good like connection for us as far as like developers, as far as like the tech space and app space. Plus the app is blowing up. He may be something they would, want to go in on and be like a co-founders. So we'll see. But we have some stuff up in the air now that's really good.
Well, I want to thank you a lot. I mean, obviously we wouldn't have this if you didn't have these connections. And I guess it's even more of a point of why, if you look at all of your past and some of your doubt, I mean, just look at the connections that you have, man. You have connections with billionaires through millionaires because of your music background, man. It's invaluable now.
Yeah, man.
So thank you.
I'm pretty pumped right now. No, this is awesome. This is team effort, and I'm really excited about hopefully one of these things working out.
Yeah, me too, man. So as you know, we've really been struggling with that kind of startup process of really finding an investor who's not only interested, but actually comes through with their promises. We've had a lot of interest at the beginning, and we kind of were able to quickly weed out who did or didn't want to be a part of this. We got great feedback. In fact, we never got any truly negative feedback. And then it just was kind of this demoralizing period to where we were just thinking about maybe our best bet is going to be just to bootstrap all this, outsource the app development. It could be somewhere between $16,000 and $80,000, and even just getting that MVP up, we'd be looking at that kind of cost. So we couldn't do it right now. So then we started to think about who else do we know in the area? Who else could we talk to? And Spencer has had a lot of experience in the music industry, so he's very well connected and has built some great trust with some people with a lot of dollars in their pockets. So what he was able to do is find someone who knows someone who knows someone. The startup game is really all about, again, not only who do you know, but even if you get a no, that's okay, because you can use that as a way to branch out. Imagine startup financing being one point, right? So you maybe know one person. They tell you no. Well, that one person then branches out to, they might know 2 people. Then those 2 people might know 6 people each. And as you're refining it more within your niche, especially for us in the nonprofit space, we want nonprofit investors or those who are connected to that space. They have more of a buy-in. They understand the market more. They understand the value of the product more. And therefore, they might know someone who might know someone who might know someone who is actively investing. You need to do 2 things specifically to be able to succeed in finding investment, is what I'm figuring out. And I wish someone told me this sooner. The first one's going to be you or your co-founder specifically need to know references of people who are actively investing into your market. And if they aren't able to do that, then the second thing that they need to be able to do is be able to really hit the phones and cold email, cold call, cold whatever it takes to ask around, see who knows someone who can invest prospectively in your business. So again, you either need to be well connected to millionaires who are actively investing in your niche, or specifically you need to be able to have the grit it takes to send out those 400 or 500 different emails and cold calls to be able to find that person who knows someone who knows someone. And that's actually what happened with us. So we knew someone who knew someone who knew someone who was very well connected right into our niche. And so at this point, we're pretty much just waiting on this startup business developer who's very well connected to give us feedback. He's checking with his law firm, which means he has some buy-in to see exactly if what we're doing is completely manageable for nonprofits. And then he's also going to send it up to people that he knows, if not, possibly invest himself. Sales and investing are all a game of numbers. So you just have to put yourself out there. And if you don't know the people, you better have the grit to find who that person is and get in front of them. So it's a rainy day here in Charlotte, and if you wouldn't believe, after just recording that video talking about what it takes to get in front of investors and asking around to get your business name out there. I just had a conversation with a colleague, and not only do we have the possible opportunity with a millionaire and a billionaire, but now I might have the opportunity to pitch to one of the world's most well-known NBA players from the late 60s. So I'm pretty excited about that. More to come on the details of that and see if that even works out, but might be able to hop on a call through a friend of a friend of a friend, one of the world's most decorated NBA players.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
So since that audio didn't record, I guess I'll just have to give you the too long didn't read version of what essentially has happened. So our contact is still in the process of trying to reach out to the millionaire and billionaire. And what Spencer was trying to say is he did reach out to one person who works with nonprofits. I think he's a financial advisor, and he's shown some interest in the product that we have. So we sent him over an NDA to sign, we sent him over the business plan to review, and so we're just waiting to hear back on that. So that's our first kind of cold to warm lead in this process. The second thing that we have going on is we're still approaching that millionaire and billionaire investor, but in the meantime, we're not going to assume that we are going to get funding. So what that means is we really want to bootstrap this as much as we can, whether it be to prove to investors that this is worth investing in by showing a minimal viable product and that there is traction moving forward, or to hold on to equity as much as you can so that if one day we do decide to sell, then we can hold on to all the equity. Because again, 40% of 25 million is more than 15% at 50 million. So we just talked to, or we're in the process of actually reaching out to a guy who is showing potential interest. He's a developer, and so he'd actually come on to our team, get some equity, and help us bootstrap this in the meantime. And then the last thing is on actually my end. So I possibly have one of our first employees, if we do get funding, or at the point that we can hire on somebody on the sales side. Great guy. His wife is actually an HR consultant, and he said that he was really interested in the kind of the things we were talking about. And both him and his wife were really blown away by it, really excited about it, and they actually know some maybe 2 cold leads in regards to funding. So we'll see what happens there. That's where we're at right now. We'll kind of see what comes about of it.